Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, we've now arrived at the place where the very first revelation came down to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. This is literally where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened communication with humanity, subhanAllah, where He sent down the Qur'an. And subhanAllah, towards the end of the 40 years of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, before he became a prophet, there was a lot of problems in society. There was a lot of oppression, and it used to upset the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam quite a lot. And so what he used to do is he used to start to retreat to this cave, take some food, take some water supplies, and retreat up to the top of this mountain so he can just sit there and reflect. And so he would do that over a long period of time. Sometimes he would even spend days there. And so subhanAllah, as he would do that day after day, month after month, possibly year after year, towards the end of his time, maybe approximately 6 months before, something strange started to happen in the life of the Prophet ﷺ. Every single day, he would have a dream that would come true the same day that he would wake up, subhanAllah. Like imagine you have a dream of the exact thing that's going to take place the next day. That would happen to him every day for 6 months. Allah's preparing him for something strange is happening. And as he would, keep coming to this cave, he would notice that the rocks would say Salamu Alaikum to him. And he even said later on in his life that there's a rock on his way here that would say salam to him, and he would recognize it even later into his life in the Madani phase as well, subhanAllah. Like weird things will happen in his life. And so this would happen every single day, all the way until 3 days before revelation. On the 3rd day before revelation started, on the way up, the Prophet ﷺ, he saw a big light and a loud sound. He heard it was unmissable, right? And the same thing happened the next day, a big light and a loud sound. And the 3rd day, that is when Jibreel ﷺ came down to the Prophet ﷺ, and that is when he became a prophet. And you all know the very famous story. Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ in his original angelic form. Imagine, you've never seen an angel before, all you've seen as human beings, you see Jibreel ﷺ. And he said, Iqra, read. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ma ana biqari, I cannot read. And so Jibreel squeezed him so hard to the point where he felt like his bones were going to break and that he was going to suffocate and let go. And then he said, read. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ma ana biqari, I can't read. And he squeezed him again really hard to the point where his bones were about to break, and he let go. And he said, read again. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Ma ana biqari. And that's when the first revelation happened. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Now very quickly, why would Jibreel squeeze the Prophet ﷺ so hard to the point where he can't breathe? What do you think? Does anyone have any ideas? Anyone? Go on. Why would he squeeze so hard? Huh?
Make him read.
If he can't read, squeezing him is not going to make him read. But that's a good guess, mashallah. There's 2 wisdoms the scholars have mentioned. The first one is to make him realize this is real. It's not a hallucination. You're not just imagining things, right? If someone squeezes you to the point you're about to die, it feels real, right? And so this is one of the wisdoms that, Prophet, this is real. What you're experiencing is real. Pay attention. The second one is more of a symbolic reason. And that is that this revelation is going to be very heavy on you. You're about to change the world with this revelation. That's not going to be an easy task. So I'm going to basically almost kill you, because this mission, if you like, is something that's going to almost kill you. It's not an easy mission, you see? And so there's 2 symbolic meanings to it indeed. And subhanAllah, when you reflect on this first revelation, you realize that it's actually very powerful. Out of everything that Allah could have revealed, He chose these verses first. Why? Let's go through them one by one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Iqra. Okay, read. This shows you the importance of seeking knowledge. Out of everything Allah could have said, Iqra, right? Seeking knowledge. Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. In the name of Allah who created everything. And subhanAllah, Allah introduces Himself as the creator of everything. But then He says, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. He created mankind from a sperm drop, a clinging blood clot. Okay, very interesting. Allah has just said that He's created everything, but then He said again that I have created the human being from a clinging blood clot. But He's already said that He's created everything. So why has Allah mentioned creation again? But specifically the human being being created from a clinging blood clot. Many wisdoms can be drawn from this. Of them is that just as Allah created everything, He's now opened communication with humanity, so now He's mentioning humanity. But another thing is that this alaq, yeah, clinging blood clot, is very significant. A clinging blood clot doesn't sound very nice, does it? It sounds something like ugly, you know, like just a bit of fluid. It's not very nice. This is something symbolic to show you that arrogance has no place in any human being's life at all. Humble beginnings, as they say. You were created from a little piece of fluid, so when you grow up into a human being that has an intellect, that has some knowledge, you think you can look down on people now? You think you can have arrogance and reject the truth? So Allah's reminding you, this is your place. But another thing, it also shows the creative power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you think about it, everything in the universe started from humble beginnings. This entire earth that you're on right now started off as a bit of dust in the universe. We started off as a little small bit of fluid. Everything around you, the trees that you see around you, started off from a little seed. You see? Allah has this creative power that He's able to bring everything into existence from just something very small, which also came from nothing itself. Subhanallah. You see how powerful that is? And that's just one verse. Then Allah repeats again, Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram. He repeats Iqra again. Why is Allah repeating Iqra 2 times? It's to show you that you cannot just read, for example, the Qur'an 1 time and you're finished. You cannot just seek knowledge for a small period of time and you're finished. You need to repeat. Always read the Qur'an back to front. Always seek knowledge again and again, because the human being forgets. But not only that, the scientists of today, they've introduced, or they found a new field called neuroplasticity. Have you heard of neuroplasticity before? This is where the brain essentially can mold into something else. So let's say you have social anxiety, okay? You have very bad depression or social anxiety. Through repeating good thoughts in your mind, you're able to change your brain chemistry and have a positive outlook on life. You're able to eliminate anxieties. You're able to change your fears. If you have any phobias, you can get rid of them just by constantly repeating positive affirmations. Tayyib. Allah is telling us here, Iqra 2 times, emphasizing repetition. If you read the Qur'an back to front and reflect on its meanings again back to front, and you learn the life of the Prophet back to front, and you repeat and you repeat and you repeat, you're learning the best way that a human being should live their life, because this is the guidance of Allah. And so it changes your brain chemistry. You have the perfect life in here, you have the perfect life out here, and you have the perfect social interactions. So Allah is willing good for you. You see? And this is all captured in the fact that Allah repeats Iqra multiple times. Subhanallah. But then what does Allah say? Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi 'allama bil qalam. The one who taught with the pen. Subhanallah, the scholars have even deduced a summary from this, that the first Iqra is Bismi Rabbik. Seek knowledge from the name of Allah, i.e. the religious knowledge. Then, alladhi 'allama bil qalam, the one who taught by the pen. Seek knowledge from human beings. So Allah gives you the whole picture. Don't just seek knowledge that is Islamic and then leave the dunya out. No, seek knowledge from the dunya. Learn how to, film videos like our brother here, may Allah bless him. Learn how to go out and become a doctor. Learn all of these different things in the dunya that Allah's created. But don't forget Islamic knowledge. You have to seek Islamic knowledge without a shadow of a doubt. The two together, they complement each other and they allow you to become the best version of yourself altogether. You see? So subhanAllah, look at how powerful just these few verses are. So much can be taken out of it. You see, Islam is so comprehensive. And this all happened here, and it started here behind us in Ghar Hira. May Allah bless you guys. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.